this is fundamentally a grifter's paradise. In fact, it is the most obvious, most prevalent grifter's paradise I've ever seen, besides the U.S. House of Representatives. So I think some of the potentially relevant literatures that I did not go into for time is stuff like gambler psychology. Marketing influencer psychology is huge. There's a whole literature on that. And a lot of that goes down to how charismatic are you and how attractive are you. But I think what is most relevant, particularly this, is belonging in cult psychology. All of their psychology is around influence and access. This is an access economy as much as it is anything. In fact, during the heyday down in Miami, they would show off their wallets just to get into clubs. But I'm not even sure there is such a thing as reputational concerns anymore. Boeing recovered. Volkswagen recovered. We have all kinds of, well, George Santos has yet to recover. But my point here is that some of these things, in order to have reputational costs, we have to have people who are willing to try to impose them. And what's interesting here is that there's a whole psychology and I've talked to the psychiatrists about this. People are too embarrassed. They actually internalize the failure internally before they'll actually go after you. And in fact, what's happening in this environment is a lot of death by suicide. Look, I commend this research that's going into all these alternatives. I think it's incredibly important. I mean, I just see this groundswell of people literally just believing. Conspiratorial beliefs are kind of going all throughout, and we're having more and more influence in our markets. You know, I just think that we need to start thinking a little bit more about why are people believing this way. I'd like to see more work on variation in the backgrounds of influencers. LinkedIn is a great opportunity to take a look at data on prior experience. And also, who's influencing them? Network tracing, I think could be really, really cool here. Also, consideration of competing incentives. Are they prioritized? What are the implications for what they might communicate? So a pump and dump strategy is going to have a very different communication than I want to manifest a liquidity so I can launder money strategy, right? There's so much stuff happening in video. If we really want to understand signals in our markets, video is where it's all happening. The biggest punchline from all this is that we should literally quit our jobs and hide.